Hello there, this is Into Vietnam, the daily business update, only here on VITV channel, and following are the headlines of the day. The consumer price index is forecast to be more stable in February. Over 76,000 foreigners are working in Vietnam. And the country opposes to United States tax on traffic imports. The Price Management Agency under the General Statistics Office says the consumer price index in February will be more stable than those in previous years. Sliding oil prices will have impacts on February consumer prices, which are projected to drop 0.39%. The agency says consumption power will recover during Tet holiday period, pushing up prices of food and foodstuff. However, the rise of the commodities will be compensated by falling oil prices. Over 76,000 foreigners are working in Vietnam, announced by the Employment Agency under the Ministry of Labor in Valleys and Social Affairs. Foreign workers come from 74 countries and territories around the world. Those from Asia accounted for 58%, from the EU 28.5% and other parts 13.5%. The majority of them are men, 89.9%, and those aging over 30 make up 86% of the total sum. The Vietnam Traffic Association on January the 27th opposed in paper the dumping taxes on traffic imported from Vietnam to United States market. The association asserted its traffic export prices are low thanks to the connection model between farmers, processors, and exporters, that the United States Department of Commerce or DOC calculated the dumping margin based on the Indonesia price is unfair for Vietnam, as traffic growers in the two countries are not the same. The association is seeking the DOC move to eliminate the application of anti-dumping taxes on Vietnamese traffic and Pangasius fillet. Earlier on January the 16th, the DOC rose the dumping taxes on Vietnamese traffic to $0.97 a kilo for 23 Vietnamese traffic exporters, while applied the nationwide tax rate of $2.39 per kilo. More firms will enjoy the preferential custom mechanism next March, as the government has loosened conditions for the scheme. In details, those who can enjoy the preferential scheme include trading firms with total revenues of $100 million per year, exporters of made-in-Vietnam goods with earnings of $40 million, exporters of agroforestry and fishery products with income of $30 million per year, and custom agencies with the declaration documents of 20,000 papers a year. At the moment, 27 firms have enjoyed the preferential custom mechanism, and the number is expected to be raised to 30 to 35% this year. In other news, hardship is yet over for local firms at the beginning of the year, as more than 9,700 of them temporarily shut down operation in January. The number rose 22.9% on year. In the meantime, more than 6,800 firms were established in the period, with registered capital of 31.7 trillion dong, which is the same as last year and down 27.5% in the number of business. And now let's move on the bulletin with some news we've updated from Ho Chi Minh City. The State Bank of Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City branch has set target of 13% credit growth rate, 12% of deposit growth rate, and under 3% of bad debt ratio, and better than last year's business results in 2015. The banking industry will drastically implement the credit institution restructuring program, tackle bad debts, and focus on completing bank merger plans. The State Bank branch instructed credit institutions to fulfill merger plans before June of this year and keep close eyes on the progress to ensure that merged bank will stably operate in the second half of the same year. In a bid to support local firms, Ho Chi Minh City-based bank will launch 60 trillion dong of soft loan rated under 7% per year for short-term loans and 9% for middle and long-term ones in 2015. The lenders will also consider cutting lending rate on old loans. It's noted that preferential loans in the city will be offered to 4 new entities of household businesses and small retailers at wholesale markets. Banks will cooperate with business association, the management boards of industrial and high-tech zones and cooperatives. Last year, banks in the city pumped more than 40 trillion dong of soft loans for banks, 2 times higher than the initial target and 3 times higher than 2013 figures. Now, following the decision 254 on restructuring financial institutions in 2011-2015 period, the banking sector is striving to form 1 to 2 commercial banks, reaching the regional scale in 2015. However, it's now the 2015, but the sign of achieving the target is still unclear.
Our banking sector is still remaining a long distance behind the regional scale, and it's quite difficult for the domestic banks to have the skill and the level equivalent to banks in the region. Head of the central bank himself also acknowledges of this fact.
Thì như trong cái đề án tái cấu trúc lại hệ thống các ngân hàng thương mại thì chúng tôi cũng hướng tới là xây dựng từ 1 đến 2 ngân hàng là ngân hàng hàng đầu Việt Nam. Hàng đầu Việt Nam thì chắc là cũng chưa phải là khó lắm. Thế nhưng mà ngang tầm với các ngân hàng trong khu vực thì cái câu sau mới là cái câu khó đấy. Đúng là
NPLs is one of the burdens preventing banks from the target. As reported by the State Bank of Vietnam Ho Chi Minh City branch, NPL's ratio of banks here is up to 5.3% in 2014, and the number of about a half of financial institutions is more than 2 numbers.
Tôi nghĩ là rất là khó trong cái bối cảnh hiện nay, nếu mà tính đến 2015. Bởi vì chúng ta biết là mấy năm vừa rồi kinh tế chúng ta rất là khó khăn. Nợ bất động sản thì bị dồn tóc ra đấy, nợ xấu và đùn lên cái hệ thống ngân hàng nặng nề như thế. Khu vực doanh nghiệp nhà nước thì làm ăn cũng thua lỗ và không hiệu quả thì cũng đùn lên cái hệ thống ngân hàng một cái khoản nợ xấu như thế.
If the NPLs are unresolved, it will be tough for banks to improve quality and safety system standards. While the world is applying Basel III, Vietnamese banks are still struggling with Basel II, and not all banks have met the Basel I standards.
Ví dụ như một số ngân hàng trong khu vực do cái năng lực tài chính của nó đã tốt, hệ số an toàn vốn cao của nó đã rất tốt rồi chẳng hạn, đúng không? Hay là những cái giới hạn về đảm bảo an toàn trong hoạt động của các ngân hàng của họ nó đã tiệm cận những cái chuẩn mực của Basel II, những cái Basel III chẳng hạn, đúng không? Trong khi các ngân hàng chúng ta vẫn đang loay hoay với cái Basel I và đang tiến gần đến cái Basel II.
However, to improve Vietnamese banks' position, it is needed to create a large-scale bank with good financial resources to be a market leader, gradually raising the banking system's safety standards.
Thông qua cái chương trình này, không phải chỉ mục tiêu là chúng ta xử lý các ngân hàng yếu kém, đấy là một việc nhỏ, mà đây là một việc là chúng ta xây dựng một số các ngân hàng có quy mô lớn, mà như tôi đã nói ban đầu, không những là quy mô trong nước mà còn quy mô ở khu vực. Thế còn để đạt được cái quy mô đó thì chúng ta không thể nào mà cứ theo cái phát triển tiệm cận như từ trước đến giờ, thì không bao giờ, còn lâu lắm mất hết thời cơ. Thì chỉ có thông qua các chương trình tái cơ cấu này thì chúng ta mới đạt được cái mục tiêu đó.
In 2015, it is expected to have 6 to 7 M&As between banks, with the participation of large commercial banks, state-owned commercial banks. Realizing the target is an important basis to complete the banking restructure. However, it is more crucial to focus on quality of banks after revamping.
And now before we go, let's check out today's local gold prices, forex and stock market. Our program has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon and goodbye for now.